Hello, everyone. I am Julie Barclay, and I can't believe I'm doing this, but I am going to be starting up some little chats just to share my heart and a little bit of what God has been teaching me in my life. And God's actually been calling me and nudging me to do this among several other things for the past year now. And I have to admit, I've been very hesitant to pursue what I feel He's been calling me to. And some of that includes public speaking, some of that includes writing a book, and some of that includes doing this and talking to you all. And so, for however many people that is that are actually going to watch this, I just feel like this is something that I need to finally actually act out on that God has called me to do. And so, just to give you a little brief synopsis of what it is that I'm going to be doing in these videos, is just really two things. There's two primary elements of everything that I do in these videos, and that is going to be number one, to be real. Let's be honest, it is really difficult to see people out there with their social media statuses and their family perfect Christmas cards and all of these elements of people's lives that just seem so polished and perfect. And we just don't ever feel like we measure up, do we? And I don't know if you can relate to me, but I struggle with that a lot. I compare myself in pretty much every avenue of my life, whether it's people's friends, people's kids, people's homes, people's relationship with Jesus, people's hair, people's makeup, people's style of dress, every little thing you can imagine I struggle with. And it's probably one of the main reasons why I have not pursued what Jesus has been calling me to for the past year now, is because I've been comparing myself to other people in this arena, other speakers, other authors, other people who do stuff like this, and they just always seemed so polished and put together, and they always seem to have that like really loose, perfect, wavy curl going on, and their makeup is always perfect, and the lighting is always perfect, and they just have amazing style, and they say exactly the right thing at exactly the right time. And I just never felt like I could measure up to that. And so I felt like I wasn't enough, or I wasn't adequate, or God couldn't use me. And so I feel like God has finally been helping me to push through that and realize that He has created me uniquely to be who I am, and He wants me to use that. And so that's one of the primary elements of what I'm going to be doing, is just being real and laying it on the table. Life is not perfect. Life is really hard. And I just want to be open and transparent about that, so that I can just be relatable to you all and just hopefully give you encouragement on your journey. If God can use me, He can use anyone. And the second component, and the most important, is Jesus. So it's going to be about being real, and it's going to be about Jesus. What does that mean? That means, what is Jesus doing in my life? What is Jesus doing with this mess? And what does that mean for you? And so I'm going to be just sharing what Jesus is doing in my life, what He's teaching me, and how we can apply that practically in our everyday life. And so just kind of a theme verse that kind of ties those two concepts together is from 2 Corinthians 4, verse 7. And it says, "But we have this treasure in jars of clay, to show that this all-surpassing power is from God and not from us." So going along with my number one component, being real, wow, jars of clay. I don't know if you can relate, but I often feel like a jar of clay. I feel unpolished. I feel imperfect. I feel like I need a lot of work and a lot of molding. Um, but yet, right? God has treasures in these jars of clay, um, for the reason to show His all-surpassing power, that it's from Him and it's not from us. And so that's my second component, is Jesus. I'm imperfect. I am merely a jar of clay, but through God, we can accomplish amazing things. And so that's just going to be the premise of what I'm going to be sharing with you all. I am planning on getting into public speaking, and I am in the process of writing a book. And kind of the overarching theme of that, if I could just share that really quickly, is just living a life of abundance. What does it mean to live life to the full? What did Jesus mean when He said in John 10:10, "I came so that you would have life and you would live it to the full"? What does that mean? And how can we do that in our everyday lives? I don't know if you're like me, but whether you're going through something major in your life, or you're just dealing with the mundaneness of everyday life, life is difficult, and I've been through both. I've had some pretty serious medical health issues that I'll share more about in future talks. And also, I suffer with just the mundaneness of everyday life, a lot of which comes from motherhood and raising 3 young children. And so I'm just going to be being really real about some of those experiences. And yeah, just really excited to see where God's going to take this. And I just hope that it can be encouraging to all of you. I would love to hear from anyone who listens to me, if that is anyone at all. And I would just love to hear about anything that you're related to, or any feedback that you have, or any questions that you have, or just any way that I can pray for you or love on you. So looking forward to whatever this may hold, and I hope you all have a wonderful night.